أحزاننا وذهاب همومنا وغمومنا. اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا ووفقنا لتلاوته والعمل به آناء الليل وأطراف النهار. Allah, make the supernal Quran the springtime of our hearts, the light of our chests, the removal of our woes, the relief of our grief and our anxieties. Allah, remind us therefrom what we were made to forget, and teach us therefrom what we are ignorant thereof, and inspire us to recite it and act thereupon throughout our nights and at the reaches of each day.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the accursed, in the name of Allah the Beneficent, the Compassionate.
قد أفلح المؤمنون.
Truly the believers shall realize success.
الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون.
Those who attain humility in their prayers.
والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون.
And who moreover turn away from any vile talk.
والذين هم للزكاة فاعلون.
And those who moreover give charity.
والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون.
And those who moreover are ever vigilant as to their chastity.
إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين.
Except with their spouses or whomever their hands may rightfully attain to, for then they are not blameworthy.
فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون.
But whoever seeks intimate consort beyond this, then it is they who are the transgressors.
والذين هم لأماناتهم وعهدهم راعون.
Those who, moreover, are ever observant of their trusts and their covenant.
والذين هم على صلواتهم يحافظون.
And those who, moreover, are ever vigilant as to keeping their prayers.
أولئك هم الوارثون.
It is those who shall be the inheritors.
الذين يرثون الفردوس هم فيها خالدون.
Those who shall inherit paradise, therein abiding forever.
ولقد خلقنا الإنسان من سلالة من طين.
And truly we created man out of an extraction of mud.
ثم جعلناه نطفة في قرار مكين.
Then we made him a sperm drop set in a well-established place.
ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظاما فكسونا العظام لحما ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين.
Then we created the sperm drop. Then we created the sperm drop into a clinging clot. Then we created the clinging clot into a morsel-like lump. Then we created in the morsel-like lump bones. Then we clothed those bones with flesh. Thus do we bring him forth as an entirely different creation. So hallowed be God, the best of those who create.
ثم إن وإنكم بعد ذلك لميتون.
Then indeed thereafter you are to die.
ثم إنكم يوم القيامة تبعثون.
Then on the day of resurrection you shall be raised to life.
ولقد خلقنا فوقكم 7 طرائق وما كنا عن الخلق غافلين.
Then on the day of resurrection you shall be raised to life, and truly we have created above you 7 spheres, and never are we heedless of any part of creation.
وأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأسكناه في الأرض وإنا على ذهاب به لقادرون.
Thus have we sent down from the sky water in due measure, and caused it to settle in the earth, and indeed we are well able to take it away.
فأنشأنا لكم به جنات من نخيل وأعناب لكم فيها فواكه كثيرة ومنها تأكلون.
Yet therewith we bring forth for you gardens of date palms and grapevines, in which there is for you fruit aplenty, and from it you may eat.
وشجرة تخرج من طور سيناء تنبت بالدهن وصبغ للآكلين.
Also we produce therewith a tree which comes forth from the region of Mount Tur of Sinai. It yields oil from its olive fruit, and is a condiment for those who would eat of it. Allahu Akbar.
وإن لكم في الأنعام لعبرة نسقيكم مما في بطونها ولكم فيها منافع كثيرة ومنها تأكلون.
Moreover, in cattle of every kind there is indeed a sure lesson for you. We give you to drink of the milk that is within their bellies, and in them there are many other benefits for you, and from them there is meat that you eat.
وعليها وعلى الفلك تحملون.
And upon them and upon ships you are carried through land and sea.
ولقد أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه فقال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره أفلا تتقون.
Now truly we sent Noah as a messenger to his people, so he said to them, O my people, worship God alone. You do not have any God other than him. Will you not then be God-fearing?
فقال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومه ما هذا إلا بشر مثلكم يريد أن يتفضل عليكم ولو شاء الله لأنزل ملائكة ما سمعنا بهذا في آبائنا الأولين.
Yet the elders of his people who disbelieved said, This man is but a mere mortal like yourselves. He desires to have superiority over you. Now, had God truly willed to reveal a message to us, he would have sent down angels as messengers. We have not heard of this claim occurring in the time of our forefathers of old.
إن هو إلا رجل به جنة فتربصوا به حتى حين.
He is nothing but a man touched with madness, so wait on him for a time till he quits or dies.
قال رب انصرني بما كذبون.
He said, My Lord, support me against them, for they have irrevocably belied me.
فأوحينا إليه أن اصنع الفلك بأعيننا ووحينا فإذا جاء أمرنا وفار أردت النور فاسلك فيها كل زوجين اثنين وأهلك من كل زوجين اثنين وأهلك إلا من سبق عليه القول منهم ولا تخاطبني في الذين ظلموا إنهم مغرقون.
Thus we revealed to him, make the ark under the care of our watchful eyes and according to our revelation. Then when our command comes to pass, and the earth itself erupts like a fount, as a sign and a portent, then place in it mates of every living pair, and your family, except for those of them against whom the word has gone forth. Now, nor shall you address me regarding the deliverance of those who did wrong. Indeed, they shall all be drowned.
فإذا استويت أنت ومن معك على الفلك فقل الحمد لله الذي نجانا من القوم الظالمين.
And when you are settled upon the ark, you and all those who are with you, then say in exaltation, all praise is for God who alone has delivered us from the wrongdoers.
وقل رب أنزلني منزلا مباركا وأنت خير المنزلين.
And say, my Lord, cause me to alight with a blessed alighting, for you alone best bring your servants to a blessed alighting.
إن في ذلك لآيات وإن كنا لمبتلين.
Indeed, in this there are sure signs, for we do indeed put the faith of people to the test.
ثم أنشأنا من بعدهم قرنا آخرين.
Then we brought forth after them another generation.
فأرسلنا فيهم رسولا منهم أن اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره أفلا تتقون.
Thus we sent to them a messenger from among them, saying, worship God alone. You do not have any God other than Him. Will you not then be God-fearing?
وقال الملأ من قومه الذين كفروا وكذبوا بلقاء الآخرة وأترفناهم في الحياة الدنيا ما هذا إلا بشر مثلكم يأكل مما تأكلون ويشرب مما تشربون.
But the elders of his people who disbelieved and belied the destined meeting of God for judgment in the hereafter, though we had given them luxuries in the life of this world, said, this man is but a mere mortal like yourselves. He eats of what you eat, and he drinks of what you drink.
ولئن أطعتم بشرا مثلكم إنكم إذا لخاسرون.
And were you to obey a mere mortal like yourselves, then you would indeed be losers.
أيعدكم أنكم إذا متم وكنتم ترابا وعظاما أنكم مخرجون.
Does he promise you that when you die and become mere dust and bones, that you shall indeed be brought forth to life?
هيهات هيهات لما توعدون.
How absurd, absurd indeed is all that you are promised.
إن هي إلا حياتنا الدنيا نموت ونحيا وما نحن بمبعوثين.
There is nothing but our life in this world. We die once and we live once, and never shall we be raised from the dead.
إن هو إلا رجل افترى على الله كذبا وما نحن له بمؤمنين.
He is nothing more than a man who has forged a lie against God, and never shall we be believers in him.
قال رب انصرني بما كذبون.
He said, "My Lord, support me against them, for they have irrevocably belied me."
قال عما قليل ليصبحن نادمين.
God said to him, "In a short while they shall most surely become utterly remorseful."
فأخذتهم الصيحة بالحق فجعلناهم غثاء فبعدا للقوم الظالمين.
So the deadly blast of our punishment seized them suddenly with inevitable justice. Thus we turned them into floating debris. So away with the wrongdoers.
ثم أنشأنا من بعدهم قرونا آخرين.
Then after them we raised other generations.
ما تسبق من أمة أجلها وما يستأخرون.
No nation can hasten its set term of judgment, nor can they remain thereafter.
ثم أرسلنا رسلنا تترى كلما جاء أمة رسولها كذبوه فأتبعنا بعضهم بعضا وجعلناهم أحاديث فبعدا لقوم لا يؤمنون.
Then we sent our messengers to them one after the other. Whenever a messenger came to a people, they belied him. Thus we caused them to follow one another into destruction. And we turned every one of them into a byword of reproach among the succeeding nations. So away with a people who do not believe.
ثم أرسلنا موسى وأخاه هارون بآياتنا وسلطان مبين.
Thereafter we sent Moses and his brother Aaron with our signs and manifest authority
إلى فرعون وملئه فاستكبروا وكانوا قوما عالين.
to Pharaoh and his assembly of nobles, but they grew so arrogant, for they were a haughty people.
فقالوا أنؤمن لبشرين مثلنا وقومنا لنا عابدون.
So they said, "Are we to believe in two mortals like us, while their people are slaves to us?"
فكذبوهما فكانوا من المهلكين.
Thus they belied both of them, so they too became of those who were destroyed.
ولقد آتينا موسى الكتاب لعلهم يهتدون.
And truly we had given Moses the book and the children of Israel so that they might be guided aright.
وجعلنا ابن مريم وأمه آية وآويناهما إلى ربوة ذات قرار ومعين.
Moreover, we gave the son of Mary along with his mother a sign. Moreover, we made the son of Mary along with his mother a sign. Thus we gave them shelter upon a hilltop endued with rest and running rills.
يا أيها الرسل كلوا من الطيبات واعملوا صالحا إني بما تعملون عليم.
God said to all his emissaries, "O messengers, eat of all that is wholesome, and do righteous deeds.
وإن هذه أمتكم أمة واحدة وإن هذه أمتكم أمة واحدة وأنا ربكم فاتقون."
Indeed, I am all-knowing of all that you do, for indeed this community of yours is one community, and I am your Lord, so fear me.
فتقطعوا أمرهم بينهم زبرا كل حزب بما لديهم فرحون.
Yet they who came after them split into factions among themselves in the matter of their faith, each party exulting in whatever they had taken hold of, and without authority calling it truth.
فذرهم في غمرتهم حتى حين.
So leave them in their overwhelming ignorance for a preordained time.
أيحسبون أن ما نمدهم به من مال وبنين
Do they think that because of the wealth and sons we provided them,
نسارع لهم في الخيرات بل لا يشعرون
that we but hasten to grace them with good things? No, indeed, they do not perceive the direness of their test.
إن الذين هم من خشية ربهم مشفقون
Yet as to those who are indeed cautious out of fear of their Lord,
والذين هم بربهم لا يشركون
and those who do not associate gods with their Lord,
والذين يؤتون ما آتوا وقلوبهم وجلة والذين يؤتون ما آتوا وقلوبهم وجلة أنهم إلى ربهم راجعون
and those who give charitably all that they give with trembling hearts because they know they are returning to their Lord.
أولئك يسارعون في الخيرات وهم لها سابقون
It is these who haste to exceed one another in good works, and they are indeed foremost in attaining them.
ولا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها ولدينا كتاب ينطق بالحق وهم لا يظلمون
Nor do we task any soul beyond its capacity, yet with us is a book which speaks the truth about the works of men, thus never shall they be wronged in the least.
بل قلوبهم في غمرة من هذا ولهم أعمال من دون ذلك هم لها عاملون
But as for the unbelieving factions, their hearts are steeped in overwhelming ignorance about this Qur'an, and they have evil deeds besides this which they are doing.
حتى إذا أخذنا مترفيهم بالعذاب إذا هم يجأرون
At last, when suddenly we seize those among them indulged in opulent ease with the torment of our judgment, then instantly they will be groaning.
لا تجأروا اليوم إنكم منا لا تنصرون
Do not groan this day, it shall be said to them, for never will you be helped by us.
قد كانت آياتي تتلى عليكم فكنتم على أعقابكم تنكصون
Truly, my revealed verses were recited to you, yet you used to fall back from faith upon your heels.
مستكبرين به سامرا تهجرون
You grew arrogant therein, chattering at night in blasphemy.
أفلم يدبروا القول أم جاءهم ما لم يأت آباءهم الأولين
Then do they not reflect on the word of God, or are they in denial only because there has come to them from God what did not come to their forefathers of old?
أم لم يعرفوا رسولهم فهم له منكرون
Or is it that they do not recognize the well-known integrity of their messenger, and so they disavow him?
أم يقولون به جنة بل جاءهم بالحق وأكثرهم للحق كارهون
Or do they say, he has gone mad? Rather, he has come to them with the truth, but most of them are utterly abhorrent of the truth.
ولو اتبع الحق أهواءهم لفسدت السماوات والأرض ومن فيهن بل أتيناهم بذكرهم فهم عن ذكرهم معرضون
Yet were the truth to follow their whims, the heavens and the earth, and all who are in them would most surely have become corrupted. Rather, we have brought them the Qur'an to be their revealed reminder of the way of God, yet they turn away from the guidance of their revealed reminder.
أم تسألهم خرجا فخراج ربك خير وهو خير الرازقين.
Do you, O Prophet, ask of them any tribute for the blessing of faith you bring them? Yet the tribute of your Lord that He offers them in reward is far better, for He is the very best of providers.
وإنك لتدعوهم إلى صراط مستقيم.
And you, indeed, do call them to a straight way.
وإن الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة عن الصراط لناكبون.
While indeed all those who do not believe in the hereafter are most surely in deviation from that way.
ولو رحمناهم وكشفنا ما بهم من ضر للجوا في طغيانهم يعمهون.
Thus were we to have mercy upon them and remove whatever harm is upon them, they would still persist in their insolent transgression, wandering blindly.
ولقد أخذناهم بالعذاب فما استكانوا لربهم وما يتضرعون.
And truly we gripped them with torment as a forewarning against their unbelief, yet they did not seek to surrender themselves to their Lord, nor did they humble themselves before God in earnest entreaty, nor will they.
حتى إذا فتحنا عليهم بابا ذا عذاب شديد إذا هم فيه مبلسون.
Until we open for them a gate of truly severe torment, and suddenly they are steeped in it, utterly despondent.
وهو الذي أنشأ لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون.
Yet He alone is the one who has brought forth for all of you the faculties of hearing and sight and hearts that comprehend. How little are the thanks you give.
وهو الذي ذرأكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون.
And He is the one alone who has multiplied you on earth, and before Him in the hereafter you shall be assembled.
وهو الذي يحيي ويميت وله اختلاف الليل والنهار أفلا تعقلون.
And He alone is the one who gives life and death, and to Him alone belongs the alternation of the night and the day. Will you not then understand?
بل قالوا مثل ما قال الأولون.
Indeed, they who disbelieve have said just what the earliest generations of disbelievers have said.
قالوا أإذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أإنا لمبعوثون.
They said, when we are dead and we have become mere dust and bones, shall we indeed be raised up to life again?
لقد وعدنا نحن وآباؤنا هذا من قبل إن هذا إلا أساطير الأولين.
Truly, we have already been promised this very thing, we and our forefathers of old. This is nothing but tales of the ancients.
قل لمن الأرض ومن فيها إن كنتم تعلمون.
Say, to whom then does the earth and whoever is on it belong, if at all you know?
سيقولون لله قل أفلا تذكرون.
They shall say, they belong to God. Then say to them, will you not then be mindful that God is all able to resurrect you for judgment?
قل من رب السماوات السبع ورب العرش العظيم.
And say to them, who is the Lord of the 7 heavens and the Lord of the magnificent throne?
سيقولون لله قل أفلا تتقون.
They shall say they belong to God. Then say, will you not then be God-fearing?
قل من بيده ملكوت كل شيء وهو يجير ولا يجار عليه إن كنتم تعلمون.
Moreover, say, in whose mighty hand is the dominion over all things, such that he alone gives refuge while there is no refuge from him, if at all you know.
سيقولون لله قل فأنا تسحرون.
They shall say, it belongs to God. Then say to them, how then are you so deluded by false beliefs?
بل أتيناهم بالحق وإنهم لكاذبون.
They shall say, it all belongs to God. Rather, we have brought them the truth, but they are most surely liars.
ما اتخذ الله من ولد وما كان معه من إله إذا لذهب كل إله بما خلق ولعلى بعضهم على بعض سبحان الله عما يصفون.
God has not taken to himself any offspring, nor has there ever been any God with him, for then each God would have gone off with what he created. Moreover, some would have sought to overcome others. Highly exalted is God, far above all that they ascribe to him.
عالم الغيب والشهادة فتعالى عما يشركون.
The sole knower of all the realms of the unseen and the seen, so most high is he, far above all that they associate as gods with him.
قل رب إما تريني ما يوعدون.
Say, O Prophet, my Lord, if it is to be that you will show me the fulfillment of whatever judgment they are promised,
رب فلا تجعلني في القوم الظالمين.
then, my Lord, let me not be among the wrongdoers.
وإنا على أن نريك ما نعدهم لقادرون.
For indeed, we are well able to show you the fulfillment of all that we have promised them.
ادفع بالتي هي أحسن السيئة نحن أعلم بما يصفون.
Therefore, repel their evil doing with that which is best, pardoning and overlooking their harm. Therefore, repel their evil with that which is best. We know well all that they falsely ascribe.
وقل رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين.
Moreover, say, my Lord, I seek refuge in you from the promptings of the demons.
وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون.
And I seek refuge in you, my Lord, from their presence.
حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون.
Until when death comes to one of them, he says in regret, my Lord, return me,
لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها ومن ورائهم برزخ إلى يوم يبعثون.
so that I may do righteousness and believe in what I previously left behind. No, indeed, never shall this be. It is but an empty word that such a one utters, for behind them there is a barrier that has sealed them off from the world until the day they are raised up to life.
فإذا نفخ في الصور فلا أنساب بينهم يومئذ ولا يتساءلون.
Then when the trumpet is blown, no ties of kinship between them shall avail on that day, nor shall they care then to ask about one another.
فمن ثقلت موازينه فأولئك هم المفلحون.
Thus those whose balances are heavy with good works, then it is these who are the truly successful.
ومن خفت موازينه فأولئك الذين خسروا أنفسهم في جهنم خالدون.
But those whose balances are light, whose sins thus prevail, then it is these who have utterly lost their souls. In hell shall they abide forever.
تلفح وجوههم النار وهم فيها كالحون.
The fire searing their faces, ever grimacing therein with pain.
ألم تكن آياتي تتلى عليكم فكنتم بها تكذبون.
God shall say to them, were not my verses revealed to you? Were not my verses recited to you? And did you not use were not my verses recited to you, and did you not belie them?
قالوا ربنا غلبت علينا شقوتنا وكنا قوما ضالين.
They shall say, our Lord, our perverse ways overcame us, thus we were a people lost in error.
ربنا أخرجنا منها فإن عدنا فإنا ظالمون.
Our Lord, bring us out of this fire to life in this world. And if we return to unbelief, then would we most surely be wrongdoers.
قال اخسئوا فيها ولا تكلمون.
He shall say, sink into it, despised, nor shall you ever speak to me.
إنه كان فريق من عبادي يقولون ربنا آمنا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين.
Indeed, there was a party of my servants who said, our Lord, we have believed in you, so forgive us and have mercy upon us, for it is you alone who are supreme, far above all who are merciful.
فاتخذتموهم سخريا حتى أنسوكم ذكري وكنتم منهم تضحكون.
But you take them as an object of scorn and scoffing, and remained obsessed with it, until such incessant mocking of their faith caused you to forget my remembrance utterly, for all the while you were diverted with laughing at them.
إني جزيتهم اليوم بما صبروا أنهم هم الفائزون.
Indeed, this day I have rewarded them for what they have endured patiently. It is they who are the truly triumphant.
قال كم لبثتم في الأرض عدد سنين.
God shall say to the doomed, how long did you tarry on the earth in terms of years?
Can you repeat 112?
Yeah. How long did you remain in the earth in terms of the number of years?
قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض يوم فاسأل العادين.
They shall say, it seems that we remained there only a day or even a part thereof, yet ask those who kept count for us.
قال إن لبثتم إلا قليلا لو أنكم كنتم تعلمون.
He shall say, you have indeed remained there but a little while, if only you had known how fleeting it would all be.
أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون.
Did you think then that we had created you in vain, and that you would not be returned to us?
فتعالى الله الملك الحق لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم.
Rather, Most High is God, the King, the eternal truth. No God has the right of worship except Him, the Lord of the gracious throne.
ومن يدع مع الله إلها آخر لا برهان له به فإنما حسابه عند ربه إنه لا يفلح الكافرون.
Thus, whoever calls upon any other god with God, for which he can never have any proof, his reckoning is awaiting him with his Lord. Indeed, the disbelievers shall never succeed.
وقل رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين.
Thus say, My Lord, forgive and have mercy, for it is you alone who are supreme above all who show mercy.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Compassionate.
سورة أنزلناها وفرضناها وأنزلنا فيها آيات بينات لعلكم تذكرون.
A chapter. We have sent it down as a heavenly revelation and ordained the obligations herein, and thus we have sent down herewith verses of clear intent so that you may become mindful.
الزانية والزاني فاجلدوا كل واحد منهما 100 جلدة ولا تأخذكم بهما رأفة في دين الله إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر وليشهد عذابهما طائفة من المؤمنين.
As to she who engages in illicit sexual relations, and as for him who elicits in illicit sexual relations, whip each one of them with 100 lashes, and let no pity for them overtake you in adhering to God's religion, if truly you believe in God and in the coming judgment of the last day. Moreover, let a group of the faithful witness their punishment.
الزاني لا ينكح إلا زانية أو مشركة والزانية لا ينكحها إلا زان أو مشرك وحرم ذلك على المؤمنين.
A man who engages in illicit sexual relations shall not marry anyone but a woman who engages in illicit sexual relations or an idolatress. And as for the woman who engages in illicit sexual relations, none shall marry her but a man who engages in illicit sexual relations or an idolater, and such marriage is forbidden for the believers. No, hold on. And that is forbidden to the believers.
والذين يرمون المحصنات ثم لم يأتوا ب4 شهداء فاجلدوهم 80 جلدة ولا تقبلوا لهم شهادة أبدا وأولئك هم الفاسقون.
As to those who accuse chaste women of illicit sexual intercourse, who then do not produce 4 eyewitnesses to the very act, whip them 80 lashes, and do not accept any testimony from them ever after, for it is these who are the ungodly.
إلا الذين تابوا من بعد ذلك وأصلحوا فإن الله غفور رحيم.
Except for those of them who repent after this offense and set things aright, for indeed God is all forgiving, compassionate.
والذين يرمون أزواجهم ولم يكن لهم شهداء إلا أنفسهم فشهادة أحدهم 4 شهادات بالله إنه لمن الصادقين.
As to those who accuse their wives of illicit sexual intercourse while having no eyewitnesses but themselves, then the due testimony of each accuser is to bear witness 4 times, swearing by God that he is indeed of the truthful.
والخامسة أن لعنة الله عليه إن كان من الكاذبين.
While the 5th testimony shall be that the curse of God be upon him if he is lying.
ويدرأ عنها العذاب أن تشهد 4 شهادات بالله إنه لمن الكاذبين.
Yet punishment shall be averted from her if she bears witness 4 times, swearing by God that he is indeed lying.
والخامسة أن غضب الله عليها إن كان من الصادقين.
While the fifth testimony shall be that the wrath of God be upon her if he is telling the truth.
ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته وأن الله تواب حكيم.
Now what would become of you were it not for the grace of God upon you and his mercy, and were it not that God is indeed all relenting, all wise?
إن الذين جاءوا بالإفك عصبة منكم لا تحسبوه شرا لكم بل هو خير لكم لكل امرئ منهم ما اكتسب من الإثم والذي تولى كبره منهم له عذاب عظيم.
Indeed, those who have come to you with the wicked slander against the mother of the believers are a band of hypocrites among you. Do not consider it evil for you, but rather it is good for you. Each one of them shall be charged with the sin he has earned. Moreover, whoever of them took upon himself the greater part of spreading it, for him there shall be a great torment in the hereafter.
لولا إذ سمعتموه ظن المؤمنون والمؤمنات بأنفسهم خيرا وقالوا هذا إفك مبين.
If only when you first heard it uttered, the if only when you first heard it uttered, the believers, men and women among you, thought good of the believers among themselves, and said, "This is clearly wicked slander."
لولا جاءوا عليه بأربعة شهداء فإذ لم يأتوا بالشهداء فأولئك عند الله هم الكاذبون.
And if only they who uttered the slander had produced under obligation from new believers four witnesses to attest to it, but since they could not produce any witnesses, it is these in the sight of God who are to have been adjudged as the liars in this matter.
ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته في الدنيا والآخرة لمسكم فيما أفضتم فيه عذاب عظيم.
Yet were it not for the grace of God upon you and his mercy in this world and in the hereafter, a great torment would most surely have afflicted you for that gossip in which you had been indulging.
إذ تلقونه بألسنتكم وتقولون بأفواهكم ما ليس لكم به علم وتحسبونه هينا وهو عند الله عظيم.
When you relayed the wicked slander among one another with your own tongues, thus with your own mouths you uttered that of which you had no knowledge, yet you think it a light thing, while before God it is grave.
ولولا إذ سمعتموه قلتم ما يكون لنا أن نتكلم بهذا سبحانك هذا بهتان عظيم.
And if only when you heard of it you said, "It is not lawful for us to speak about this. Highly exalted are you. This is an enormous calumny."
يعظكم الله أن تعودوا لمثله أبدا إن كنتم مؤمنين.
God admonishes you never to repeat the likes of this, if indeed you are believers.
ويبين الله لكم الآيات والله عليم حكيم.
Thus does God make clear to you the verses, and God is all-knowing, all-wise.
إن الذين يحبون أن تشيع الفاحشة في الذين آمنوا لهم عذاب أليم في الدنيا والآخرة والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون.
As for those who love to spread about obscenity among the believers, there shall be for them a most painful torment in this world and in the hereafter, for God knows every hidden intent, and you do not know.
ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته وأن الله رؤوف رحيم.
Then what would become of you, O believers, were it not for the grace of God upon you and His mercy, and were it not that God is indeed all-kind, compassionate?
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان ومن يتبع خطوات الشيطان فإنه يأمر بالفحشاء والمنكر ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته ما زكى منكم من أحد أبدا ولكن الله يزكي من يشاء والله سميع عليم.
O you who believe, do not follow the footsteps of Satan, for whoever follows the footsteps of Satan merely enjoins obscenity and ungodly wrongdoing upon people. Thus, were it not for the grace of God upon you and His mercy, not a single one of you would have ever been purified, but God purifies whomever He so wills, and God is all-hearing, all-knowing.
ولا يأتل أولو الفضل منكم والسعة أن يؤتوا أولي القربى والمساكين والمهاجرين في سبيل الله وليعفوا وليصفحوا ألا تحبون أن يغفر الله لكم وليعفوا وليصفحوا ألا تحبون أن يغفر الله لكم والله غفور رحيم.
Moreover, let not people of moral excellence and affluence among you swear off giving charitably to close relatives, and the indigent, and the emigrants in the path of God in reproach for a wrong done, but rather let them pardon and overlook it. Do you not love that God should forgive you? Indeed, God is all-forgiving, compassionate.
إن الذين يرمون المحصنات الغافلات المؤمنات لعنوا في الدنيا والآخرة ولهم عذاب عظيم.
Verse 22 came to address a situation where Abu Bakr anhu stopped giving money to Mistah, a relative of his, because of his role in scandalizing Aisha. So even the family member was scandalizing Aisha, a family member, and Mistah was very poor. So Abu Bakr anhu, after these verses came down, Abu Bakr refused to give him money, and then this verse, number 22, was revealed, telling Abu Bakr, don't you like that Allah should forgive you? You spend on them. Go back and spend on them. Let's read that verse one more time. I'll read it one more time. Moreover, let not people of moral excellence, and this is Abu Bakr, and affluence among you swear off giving charitably to close relatives and the indigent and the emigrants in the path of God in reproach for a wrong done, but rather let them pardon and overlook it. Do you not love that God should forgive you? Indeed, God is all forgiving, compassionate, and so that is that forgiveness of the other person in order to receive the forgiveness of Allah, even in this case of utter slander and defamation of his own daughter, he was commanded to support him, to forgive him, to pardon him, and overlook his faults. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala find us forgiving on this evening, inshallah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen.
إن الذين يرمون المحصنات الغافلات المؤمنات لعنوا في الدنيا والآخرة ولهم عذاب عظيم.
Yet those who accuse chaste women of indecency, women who have never even considered indecency and who are believers, such are cursed in this world and in the hereafter. For them there is a great torment awaiting.
يوم تشهد عليهم ألسنتهم وأيديهم وأرجلهم بما كانوا يعملون.
On a day when their tongues and their hands and their legs shall all bear witness against them for all the evil that they used to do in life.
يومئذ يوفيهم الله دينهم الحق ويعلمون أن الله هو الحق المبين.
On that day God shall fully render them their just due. Thus they shall most surely know that it is God alone who is the manifest truth.
الخبيثات للخبيثين والخبيثون للخبيثات والطيبات للطيبين والطيبون للطيبات أولئك مبرؤون مما يقولون لهم مغفرة ورزق كريم.
Depraved women are only for depraved men, and depraved men are only for depraved women. But wholesome women are for wholesome men, and wholesome men are for wholesome women. For as to the wholesome, they are innocent of all that the depraved say of them. For them there is forgiveness from God and a generous provision.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تدخلوا بيوتا غير بيوتكم حتى تستأنسوا وتسلموا على أهلها ذلكم خير لكم لعلكم تذكرون.
O you who believe, you shall not enter homes other than your own homes until you take welcome permission and greet their people with peace. That is best for you, so that you may become mindful of the benefit of God's commandments.
فإن لم تجدوا فيها أحدا فلا تدخلوها حتى يؤذن لكم وإن قيل لكم ارجعوا فارجعوا هو أزكى لكم والله بما تعملون عليم.
But if you do not find anyone therein, then do not enter them until permission is granted you. Moreover, if it is said to you by their inhabitants, turn back, then turn back and do not persist. That is purer for you, and God is all-knowing of all that you do.
ليس عليكم جناح أن تدخلوا بيوتا غير مسكونة فيها متاع لكم والله يعلم ما تبدون وما تكتمون.
It is not an offense for you to enter an unrestricted residence that is not inhabited by specific residents, in which there are accommodations for you, yet God knows all that you reveal and all that you conceal.
قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أزكى لهم إن الله خبير بما يصنعون.
Say also to the believing men, O Prophet, that they should lower their gaze and safeguard the chastity of their privates. That is most pure for them. Indeed, God is all aware of all that they do.
وقل للمؤمنات يغضضن من أبصارهن ويحفظن فروجهن ولا يبدين زينتهن إلا ما ظهر منها وليضربن بخمرهن على جيوبهن ولا يبدين زينتهن إلا لبعولتهن أو آباء بعولتهن أو أبناء بعولتهن أو إخوانهن أو بني إخوانهن أو بني أخواتهن أو نسائهن أو ما ملكت أيمانهن أو التابعين غير أولي الإربة من الرجال أو الطفل الذين لم يظهروا على عورات النساء ولا يضربن بأرجلهن ليعلم ما يخفين من زينتهن وتوبوا إلى الله جميعا أيها المؤمنون لعلكم تفلحون.
And say to the believing women as well that they should lower their gaze from men that are forbidden to them, and safeguard the chastity of their private parts, and not exhibit their own physical adornment except what must necessarily appear thereof. Thus let them draw their veils over their bosoms, and not exhibit their own physical adornment to other than their husbands, or their fathers, or their husbands' fathers, or their own sons, or their husbands' sons, or their brothers' sons, or their sisters' sons, or their womenfolk who are believers, or those bondservants whom their hands rightfully possess, or male attendants without sexual desire, or children who are not yet sexually discerning about the nakedness of women, nor let them stamp their feet while walking to make visibly known what they conceal of their adornments, but turn altogether to God in repentance, O you believers, so that you may be successful.
وأنكحوا الأيام منكم والصالحين من عبادكم وإمائكم إن يكونوا فقراء يغنهم الله من فضله والله واسع عليم.
Moreover, let the unwed among you marry, and also the righteous of your bondmen and bondwomen, if they are poor. God shall enrich them from his bounty, and God is all-encompassing, all-knowing.
وليستعفف الذين لا يجدون نكاحا حتى يغنيهم الله من فضله والذين يبتغون الكتاب مما ملكت أيمانكم فكاتبوهم إن علمتم فيهم خيرا وآتوهم من مال الله الذي آتاكم ولا تكرهوا فتياتكم على البغاء إن أردنا تحصنا لتبتغوا عرض الحياة الدنيا ومن يكرهن فإن الله من بعد إكراههن غفور رحيم.
As to those who do not find means for marriage, let them keep themselves pure and chaste until God enriches them from his bounty. Moreover, if those whom your hands rightfully possess desire a deed of emancipation, then write it for them, if you come to know goodness in them. Moreover, give them of the wealth of God that he has given you, nor shall you compel your handmaidens to whoredom, for they too ardently desire to be chaste, in order for yourselves thereby to seek the fleeting things of the life of this world. But should one so compel them, then the compeller is guilty, while after their having been so compelled, God is all forgiving of such handmaidens, and mercy giving toward them.
ولقد أنزلنا إليكم آيات مبينات ومثلا من الذين خلوا من قبلكم وموعظة للمتقين.
Thus have we sent down to you verses that clarify God's truth and give examples that elucidate the exemplary ways of those righteous ones who have passed away before you, along with special admonitions of good conduct for the benefit of those who fear God.
الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس والله بكل شيء عليم.
God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The likeness of his light is as a niche wherein is a lamp, the lamp in a glass, the glass as if it were a brilliant star, kindled from a blessed tree, an olive, neither east nor west, whose oil would nearly shine out, even if no fire touches it. Light upon light. God guides to his light whomever he so wills, and God sets forth parables for all people, for God alone is all-knowing of all things.
في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه يسبح له فيها بالغدو والآصال.
Such light shines within houses of worship that God has decreed to be raised up and for his name to be ever remembered in them, giving due exaltation to him therein in the early mornings and late afternoons.
رجال لا تلهيهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة يخافون يوما تتقلب فيه القلوب والأبصار.
There are men whom neither commerce nor selling divert from the remembrance of God, or from the establishment of prayer, or the giving of charity. They fear a day when hearts and eyes shall roll frantically between salvation and damnation.
ليجزيهم الله أحسن ما عملوا ويزيدهم من فضله والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب.
In hope that God may reward them with the best they have ever done, and that he may increase them from his bounty, for God alone gives provision to whomever he so wills without measure.
والذين كفروا أعمالهم كسراب بقيعة يحسبه الظمآن ماء حتى إذا جاءه لم يجده شيئا ووجد الله عنده فوفاه حسابه والله سريع الحساب.
But here is the parable for those who have disbelieved in God. Their works are like a mirage in a leveled plain. The thirsting man thinks it is water, until when he approaches it he finds that it is nothing. Instead, he shall find only God there. Then he will render him his wicked account in full, for God is swift in reckoning.
أو كظلمات في بحر لج يغشاه موج من فوقه من فوقه سحاب ظلمات بعضها فوق بعض إذا أخرج يده لم يكد يراها ومن لم يجعل الله له نورا فما له من نور.
Or like one lost in veils of darkness in a fathomless sea covered by waves, above which are thick clouds, veils of darkness one above the other. If one puts his hand out, he can barely see it. For one to whom God does not provide light has no light at all.
ألم تر أن الله يسبح له من في السماوات والأرض والطير صافات كل قد علم صلاته وتسبيحه والله عليم بما يفعلون.
Do you not see that whoever is in the heavens and the earth exalts God, as do the birds outspreading their wings in flight? Each one of them among God's creation has known its way of prayer and exaltation, and God alone is all-knowing of all the acts that they do.
ولله ملك السماوات والأرض وإلى الله المصير.
For to God alone belongs the dominions over the heavens and the earth, and to God alone is the ultimate destiny.
ألم تر أن الله يزجي سحابا ثم يؤلف بينه ثم يجعله ركاما فترى الودق يخرج من خلاله وينزل من السماء من جبال فيها من برد فيصيب به من يشاء ويصرفه عن من يشاء يكاد سنا برقه يذهب بالأبصار.
Have you not seen that God drives the clouds on, then joins them together, then piles them up in heaps? Then you see rainfall issuing from their midst. Moreover, he sends down from the heavens mountainous clouds in which there is hail. Then he strikes with it whomever he so wills, and turns it away from whomever he so wills. The flash of its lightning nearly takes away the sight.
يقلب الله الليل والنهار إن في ذلك لعبرة لأولي الأبصار.
He alternates the night and the day. Indeed, in this there is a sure lesson for those who have eyes to see.
والله خلق كل دابة من ماء فمنهم من يمشي على بطنه ومنهم من يمشي على رجلين ومن يمشي على يخلق الله ما يشاء إن الله على كل شيء قدير.
Moreover, God created every treading beast from water, yet of them are those that go on their bellies, and of them are those that walk on 2 legs, and of them are those that walk on 4. God creates whatever he so wills. Indeed, God is powerful over all things.
لقد أنزلنا آيات مبينات والله يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
Thus, truly, we have sent down verses clarifying God's truth, yet God alone guides whomever he so wills to a straight way.
ويقولون آمنا بالله وبالرسول وأطعنا ثم يتولى فريق منهم من بعد ذلك وما أولئك بالمؤمنين.
Now they say, we believe in God and in the messenger, and we obey them. Then a group of them turns away after this in defiance. Thus the likes of these are not true believers.
وإذا دعوا إلى الله ورسوله ليحكم بينهم إذا فريق منهم معرضون.
For when they are called to God and his messenger to judge between them, to judge among them in their disputes, without delay, a party of them turn themselves aside to avoid judgment against themselves.
وإن يكن لهم الحق يأتوا إليه مذعنين.
But if the truth is decisively in their favor, they come to him in full submission.
أفي قلوبهم مرض أم ارتابوا أم يخافون أن يحيف الله عليهم ورسوله بل أولئك هم الظالمون.
Is there sickness in their hearts? Or is it rather that they doubt the word of faith and therefore fear that God and his messenger will be unjust to them? Rather, it is these who are the wrongdoers.
إنما كان قول المؤمنين إذا دعوا إلى الله ورسوله ليحكم بينهم أن يقولوا سمعنا وأطعنا وأولئك هم المفلحون.
Indeed, the only word of the true believers when they are called to God and his messenger to judge among them is but to say, we hear and we obey. Thus it is these who are the truly successful.
ومن يطع الله ورسوله ويخشى الله ويتقه فأولئك هم الفائزون.
For whoever obeys God and his messenger and venerates God and fears him, then such as these are the truly triumphant.
وأقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم لئن أمرتهم ليخرجن قل لا تقسموا طاعة معروفة إن الله خبير بما تعملون.
Yet they who are hypocrites swore by God with the utmost of their vows that if ever you were to command them, they would go forth in God's cause. Say to them, do not swear. Your false swearing of obedience is known. Indeed, God is all aware of all that you do.
قل أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول فإن تولوا فإنما عليه ما حمل وعليكم ما حملتم وإن تطيعوه تهتدوا وما على الرسول إلا البلاغ المبين.
Say, obey God and obey the messenger. Yet if you turn away, then know that he is answerable only for what he is charged to bear, and you are answerable only for what you are charged to bear. But if you obey him, you will be rightly guided, yet nothing is incumbent upon the messenger except the clear conveyance of God's message.
وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون.
God has promised those of you who believe and do righteous deeds that he will most surely make them sovereign successors in the earth, just as he has made the like of those before them successors therein. Moreover, he will most surely establish for them their religion, which he has chosen for them. Furthermore, he will most surely give them in exchange after their fear great security, so long as they worship me alone, not associating anything as a god with me. Yet whoever disbelieves after this solemn promise, then it is these who are the ungodly.
وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأطيعوا الرسول لعلكم ترحمون.
Thus duly establish prayer and give charity and obey the messenger so that you may be granted mercy.
لا تحسبن الذين كفروا معجزين في الأرض ومأواهم النار ولبئس المصير.
Never think that those who disbelieve can elude the mighty hand of God in even the furthest reaches of the earth. Moreover, their final abode shall be the fire of hell, and a most woeful destination it is.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا ليستأذنكم الذين ملكت أيمانكم والذين لم يبلغوا الحلم منكم 3 مرات من قبل صلاة الفجر وحين تضعون ثيابكم من الظهيرة ومن بعد صلاة العشاء 3 عورات لكم ليس عليكم ولا عليهم جناح بعدهن طوافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات والله عليم حكيم.
O you who believe, let those whom your hands rightfully possess and those among you who have not reached puberty seek your permission to attend to you at 3 times of day before dawn prayer, and whenever you lay aside your garments at noontime and after the evening prayer. These are the 3 intervals of privacy for you. It is not an offense for you nor for them in times of day apart from this that they go about attending you, or you one another, and thus does God make clear to you the commandments in his revealed verses. For God is all-knowing, all-wise.
وإذا بلغ الأطفال منكم الحلم فليستأذنوا كما استأذن الذين من قبلهم كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته والله عليم حكيم.
Moreover, when the children among you reach puberty, let them seek permission to attend to you, as those before them have sought permission, and thus does God make clear to you the commandments in his revealed signs, for God is all-knowing, all-wise.
والقواعد من النساء اللاتي لا يرجون نكاحا فليس عليهن جناح أن يضعن ثيابهن غير متبرجات بزينة وأن يستعففن خير لهن والله سميع عليم.
As for women beyond childbearing age, who have no desire for marriage, it is not an offense for them if they lay aside their outer garments, without unduly exhibiting any of their adornment. Yet if they abstain from this out of modesty, it is best for them, and God is all-hearing, all-knowing.
ليس على الأعمى حرج ولا على الأعرج حرج ولا على المريض حرج ولا على أنفسكم أن تأكلوا من بيوتكم أو بيوت آبائكم أو بيوت أمهاتكم أو بيوت إخوانكم أو بيوت أخواتكم أو بيوت أعمامكم أو بيوت عماتكم أو بيوت أخوالكم أو بيوت خالاتكم أو ما ملكتم مفاتحه أو صديقكم ليس عليكم جناح أن تأكلوا جميعا أو أشتاتا فإذا دخلتم بيوتا فسلموا على أنفسكم تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات لعلكم تعقلون.
There is no offense for the blind, nor is it an offense for the lame, nor is it an offense for the sick as to the commandments wherein they are unable, nor is there any offense for yourselves, O believers, if you freely eat from your own homes, or the homes of your fathers, or the homes of your mothers, or the homes of your brothers, or the homes of your sisters, or the homes of your paternal uncles, or the homes of your paternal aunts, or the homes of your maternal uncles, or the homes of your maternal aunts, or the homes to which you properly hold the keys, or the homes of your friends, nor is it an offense for you to eat together or apart. Yet when you enter such homes, greet each other with peace, a greeting from the very providence of God, blessed and wholesome. Thus does God make the commandments of his revealed verses clear to you, so that you may understand and observe them.
لا تجعلوا إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله وإذا كانوا معه على أمر جامع لم يذهبوا حتى يستأذنوه إن الذين يستأذنونك أولئك الذين يؤمنون بالله ورسوله فإذا استأذنوك لبعض شأنهم فأذن لمن شئت منهم واستغفر لهم الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
Furthermore, the true and constant believers are those who believe in God and his messenger, and who, whenever they are together with the Prophet addressing a matter of common concern, do not part until they have taken his permission. O Prophet, as to those who take your permission before parting with you, these are the ones who truly believe in God and his messenger. So when they ask your permission to attend to some of their own affairs, give permission to whomever of them you will. Moreover, seek God's forgiveness for them. Indeed, God is all forgiving, compassionate.
لا تجعلوا دعاء الرسول بينكم كدعاء بعضكم بعضا قد يعلم الله الذين يتسللون منكم لواذا فليحذر الذين يخالفون عن أمره أن تصيبهم فتنة أو يصيبهم عذاب أليم.
You shall not, however, render the manner of calling upon the messenger among yourselves like your own calling upon one another. Truly God knows those hypocrites among you. Truly God knows those among you who, sheltered by one another, stealthily slip away from the assembly of the Prophet without his permission. Then let those who go against his command or that of his messenger beware, for a trial may well afflict them in this world, or a most painful torment may afflict them in the hereafter.
I made a mistake at the end there, so I'm going to repeat that.
I'm sorry.
فليحذر الذين يخالفون عن أمره أن تصيبهم فتنة أو يصيبهم عذاب أليم ألا إن لله ما في السماوات والأرض قد يعلم ما أنتم عليه ويوم يرجعون إليه فينبئهم بما عملوا والله بكل شيء عليم.
Most assuredly, to God alone belongs all that is in the heavens and the earth. Truly, He knows every condition you are in. Thus, on the day they all return to Him for judgment, He shall tell them then the due recompense of all that they have done in life, for God alone is all-knowing of all things.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Compassionate.
تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا.
Blessed be the one who has sent down upon his servant the Quran as the criterion, so that he might be a forewarner to all the worlds.
الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض ولم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك وخلق كل شيء فقدره تقديرا.
The one to whom belongs all dominion over the heavens and the earth, and who has never taken for himself any son, and for whom there has never been any partner in all the dominion, and who alone has created everything and alone determined all of it with precise determination.
واتخذوا من دونه آلهة لا يخلقون شيئا وهم يخلقون ولا يملكون لأنفسهم ضرا ولا نفعا ولا يملكون موتا ولا حياة ولا نشورا.
Yet they who disbelieve have taken gods apart from Him that do not create anything, but who are themselves created, nor do they hold even for themselves the power of harm or benefit, nor do they hold power over death or life or resurrection.
وقال الذين كفروا إن هذا إلا إفك افتراه وأعانه عليه قوم آخرون فقد جاءوا ظلما وزورا.
Moreover, those who have disbelieved have said of this Quran, indeed, this is but a fabrication that he who claims to be a messenger has forged, while other people have helped him with it. Thus truly they have come forth with a grave wrongdoing and falsehood.
وقالوا أساطير الأولين اكتتبها فهي تملى عليه بكرة وأصيلا.
So too have they said of it, tales of the ancients is all it is, which he has sought to write down. Thus they are dictated to him by another, early morning and late afternoon.
قل أنزله الذي يعلم السر في السماوات والأرض إنه كان غفورا رحيما.
Say, the one who alone knows every secret in the heavens and the earth has most surely sent it down. Indeed, ever is he all forgiving and compassionate.
وقالوا ما لهذا الرسول يأكل الطعام ويمشي في الأسواق وقالوا ما لهذا الرسول يأكل الطعام ويمشي في الأسواق لولا أنزل إليه ملك فيكون معه نذيرا.
And they have said as well, what is with this messenger that he eats food and walks through the marketplaces? If only an angel were sent down to him to be a forewarner along with him.
أو يلقى إليه كنز أو تكون له جنة يأكل منها وقال الظالمون إن تتبعون إلا رجلا مسحورا.
Or if only a treasure trove were cast down to him, or if only he were to have a miraculous garden from which he could eat. Furthermore, the wrongdoers have said of you, O Prophet, indeed you believe but follow a man Furthermore, the wrongdoers have said of you, O Prophet, indeed you believers but follow a man bewitched.
انظر كيف ضربوا لك الأمثال فضلوا فلا يستطيعون سبيلا.
Look how they set forth malicious images for you, O Prophet. Thus they have strayed so far from guidance that they cannot find a way back.
تبارك الذي إن شاء جعل لك خيرا من ذلك جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ويجعل لك قصورا.
Hallowed be the one who, if he so willed it to be done, would make for you, O Prophet, better than all that they know, gardens beneath which rivers flow. Moreover, he would make for you grand palaces wherein to live.
بل كذبوا بالساعة وأعتدنا لمن كذب بالساعة سعيرا.
Rather, they who have disbelieved have denied the coming of the hour. Thus have we prepared for anyone who denies the hour of flaming fire.
إذا رأتهم من مكان بعيد سمعوا لها تغيظا وزفيرا.
When first the fire beholds them from a far-off place, they will hear its terrible fury and its raging sigh.
وإذا ألقوا منها مكانا ضيقا وإذا ألقوا منها مكانا ضيقا مقرنين دعوا هنالك ثبورا.
And when they are cast therein into a crushingly tight place, bound altogether in chains, then and there they shall cry for utter ruin.
لا تدعوا اليوم ثبورا واحدا وادعوا ثبورا كثيرا.
It shall be said to them, this day, do not cry out for a single ruin, but cry out for ruin upon ruin.
قل أذلك خير أم جنة الخلد التي وعد المتقون.
Say, is that better? Sorry.
قل أذلك خير أم جنة الخلد التي وعد المتقون كانت لهم جزاء ومصيرا.
Say, is that better, or the garden of eternity that is promised to the God-fearing? It is a blessed reward for them alone and a never-ending haven as an ultimate destiny.
لهم فيها ما يشاءون خالدين كان على ربك وعدا مسئولا.
For them therein is all that they could wish everlastingly. It is incumbent upon your Lord a promise ever to be asked for.
ويوم يحشرهم وما يعبدون من دون الله فيقول أأنتم أضللتم عبادي هؤلاء أم هم ضلوا السبيل.
For on the day he assembles those of them who disbelieve and all that they worship apart from God, it is then that he shall say to their false gods, are you the ones who led these my servants astray, or did they themselves stray from the way?
قالوا سبحانك ما كان ينبغي لنا أن نتخذ من دونك من أولياء ولكن متعتهم وآباءهم حتى نسوا الذكر وكانوا قوما بورا.
They shall say, highly exalted are you alone, our Lord. Never would it have been conceivable for us to make of ourselves patrons of anyone apart from you. Rather, you bestowed them and their forefathers with such comfort and enjoyment in the world that they forgot your remembrance, and thus did they become a ruined people destitute of all goodness.
فقد كذبوكم بما تقولون فما تستطيعون صرفا ولا نصرا ومن يظلم منكم نذقه عذابا كبيرا.
Whereupon it shall be said to the doomed, those whom you worshipped in life have indeed belied you as to all that you have said regarding their divinity. Now you will not be able to turn away the fire of hell from yourselves, nor avail yourselves of any help against it. Thus any one of you who in life persists in the grave wrong Thus, any one of you who in life persists in the grave wrong of worshipping others with God, we shall make him taste a great torment in the hereafter.
وما أرسلنا من قبلك من المرسلين إلا إنهم ليأكلون الطعام ويمشون في الأسواق وجعلنا بعضكم لبعض فتنة أتصبرون وكان ربك بصيرا. And we did not send before you from the messengers, except that they were mortals who mostly surely ate food and walked through the marketplaces. Therefore know, O humanity, that we have caused some of you to be a trial for others. Will you be patient in enduring your tests? And ever is your Lord all-seeing. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Allah has spoken the truth. Assalamu alaikum.